Hello, everyone. In this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Junaid Saleem to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Junaid Saleem's words. Today, we will talk about the preparations underway within Tehreek-e-Insaf for their new movement. We'll share how, judging by the workers' enthusiasm, the leadership of PTI seems to be changing its mood. We'll also reveal what major decision the government has taken to foil this movement. A PMLN intellectual has taunted that PTI is no longer capable of running a movement. This statement too will be discussed. Khawaja Asif's statements have suddenly started revolving around the constitution. We will talk about that as well. The World Bank's report regarding Pakistan has embarrassed those claiming progress and prosperity. We'll discuss that too. Which Pakistani personality has been requested to be barred from entering the US? What commotion is taking place within American politics itself? We'll talk about all these topics. But first, let's talk about PTI's protest movement. Viewers, on one hand, Tehreek-e-Insaf is busy with protest preparations. The workers are extremely charged, especially in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. But this time, a new phenomenon is that, even in cities across Punjab, the atmosphere of fear is starting to dissipate. People are gathering in different areas, meetings are taking place, and strategies are being formed. Within the party, there's just one demand, that this time the leadership must not disappear and leave the workers to face the trials alone. Even while in jail, Imran Khan is trying to ensure that the passion of the leadership and the workers remains aligned. That's why he's assigning important positions only to those who've worked on the ground and remained steadfast, even in jail, in their ideology, unaffected by any harshness. These appointments have stirred up unrest within the party. On one hand, there's a wave of satisfaction. On the other, restlessness is spreading in various corners. Those who still hold positions are now visibly insecure. They've lost their polite tone and abandoned diplomacy. A glimpse of this change is seen in Ali Amin Gandapur's recent aggressive tone. He said, "We are disappointed in the system and are now beginning our movement. We will not be made slaves by force. Rather, we will respond to batons with batons and bullets with bullets. We will defeat this system through our strength which seeks to enslave us." Ali Amin has spoken in this tone twice before, but when it came time to act, he seemed to waver, making him appear doubtful in the eyes of many workers. This time, however, it is believed he may not have the opportunity to back away. His aggressive statement reflects the pressure he's facing from the party's grassroots. On the other hand, the real issue is that the party's most powerful element, Junaid Akbar Khan, has said that workers are unwilling to accept anything less than Imran Khan's release. They are not even ready to listen to anything else. Junaid Akbar fears that the workers might soon go out of control, and based on my sources, I can confirm his fears are entirely valid. In many districts, the workers are already refusing to obey party leadership. They are prepared to go to any lengths. Viewers, I must repeat, this is not a desirable situation for the movement. If the movement launches, I believe the government needs to cool-headedly assess the situation and work out a compromise. Otherwise, the future doesn't look promising. Nevertheless, the news is that PTI is not only ready for protest, but is fully ready. And this time, the nature of the protest will be surprising for the ruling authorities. An example of this is that Aliyah Hamza, speaking about Punjab, has formed 10 different regional committees there. All responsibilities have been handed to experienced party workers. Every constituency's assembly members and ticket holders have been told anyone who doesn't participate in the protest or doesn't deliver results will be permanently expelled from the party and won't be considered for any future tickets. Now, viewers, I've said it many times, PMLN's entire political survival is linked to the conflict between PTI and the establishment. So, whenever there's any sign of talks between PTI and the establishment, panic spreads in PMLN. They begin scheming. And whenever tensions rise between PTI and state institutions, PMLN leaders throw fuel on the fire, considering it a holy duty. As part of such efforts, Senator Irfan Siddiqui has said PTI has lost its strength and is no longer capable of launching any movement. Let's be clear, Irfan Siddiqui was never a public leader. He was a columnist who got close to Nawaz Sharif by writing flattering columns and as a reward was made a senator. In my view, among many other charges against PMLN, one is that it snatched from the nation a writer like Irfan Siddiqui, who once wrote beautifully from the heart. It is sad that when the fire of PMLN's political misdeeds is written someday, this too must be included. There are 2 or 3 more such figures. I'll talk about them another time. As for Irfan Siddiqui's claim that PTI has lost all strength, well, sir, if that is true, allow them to hold a single public rally without interference. Just one. Your government allowed 2 rallies in Lahore and Islamabad, but only at the outskirts and only between 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. After 8, the lights were turned off. You can't even afford to let Imran Khan appear in open court, let alone a public rally. You can't even afford for his name to be mentioned on TV. If PTI is truly finished, you wouldn't need to stop people from meeting Khan in jail or showing his image on TV. If it's a dead party, why the fear? Ask your coalition partners in the PPP. They're openly saying that common people don't just avoid voting for PMLN, they even avoid meeting anyone who associates with them. This isn't my claim. Your own allies are saying it. Mr. Irfan Siddiqui, it's not PTI that's finished, it's the PMLN that as a political party has expired. It's not even breathing, it knows it's dead. It's alive on artificial support. If that support ends, there'll be no choice but to bury the corpse. And to be honest, sir, you too know this very well. Place your hand on your heart and swear on the honour of those words you once wrote from the heart, whether what you now say is true. Have you been speaking the truth these past few years? Now, viewers, let's get to one very important piece of news. While PTI has almost completed its protest preparations and continues actively, the situation does not look favourable for the government. The government has now done what was feared. I mentioned this 2 weeks ago, when Imran Khan said he would lead the protest movement from jail. According to my information, the government has decided to impose a complete ban on meetings with Imran Khan for a month or 2 after Eid. There might be one final meeting, but after that, no party leader or family member will be allowed to meet him, regardless of court decisions, just like before. Let's see when this begins. My information says it may start immediately after Eid, perhaps after one meeting. Lastly, Khawaja Asif keeps making such statements that I have to mention him even when I don't want to. When you hear him speak, you feel obliged to show the foreign minister a mirror. He recently asked, which constitution allows a political party to negotiate with the establishment? Khawaja Asif Sahib is asking, in which constitution is it written that a political party can talk to the establishment? The person who is himself deeply connected with the establishment, linked through generations, is now saying that talking to the establishment is forbidden. Someone who has always been part of every negotiation now claims this. In reality, Khawaja Asif wants to criticize PTI, which says, we won't talk to the mandate thieves, we'll talk to the ones who brought them. So I thought I should remind Khawaja Asif Sahib, in which constitution is it written that a government can be formed without votes? In which constitution is it written that after losing the election, one should call the serving army chief and ask him to convert the defeat into a win? In which constitution is it written that despite a massive electoral defeat, governments can be forcefully formed in the centre and Punjab? In which constitution is it written that during the election campaign, the serving army chief's pictures can be put up on posters and banners, and the polling agents of the opposing party can be picked up? In which constitution is it written that you go meet General Bajwa on ISI's message and receive directions for legislation based on his demands? Khawaja Sahib, please only say what you can handle. Before making any claims, look into your own collar. As we say in Punjabi, beat your chest once, take a good look at yourself. Every political flaw you accuse others of, you'll find abundantly within your own party. You won't even need to look outside. Dear viewers, the poverty rate in Pakistan has dangerously increased. And this isn't just what I'm saying or what PTI is saying or even their opponents. This is coming from a World Bank report which says 45% of Pakistan's population has fallen below the poverty line. Pakistan's population is about 240 million, which means around 110 to 120 million people are now living below the poverty line. According to the report, and I emphasize not since PDM came into power or since these showmen arrived, the World Bank is referring to the last 3 years during which the poverty rate increased rapidly. Let me explain. Falling below the poverty line means that a person can afford only one meal a day or doesn't have the capacity to earn even $4 per day by international standards. It also means that a large portion of the population can't even earn the minimum wage set by the government. Another alarming point is that even upper middle-class people have lost hope in their future in Pakistan. There's a race to leave the country, and during the past 3 years alone, around 2 million Pakistanis have settled in Europe and the US. These were people who had decent lives in Pakistan, but could no longer see a secure future for themselves or their children, and thus left. Although our rulers are portraying that, we're now on good terms with the US, with the Trump administration, just as we were with the Biden administration, in reality, Pakistanis living in the US remain a constant headache for the current government. The latest news from the US is that there is a recommendation for a visa ban and sanctions on Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi and his associates. This recommendation has been submitted with signatures of 59 US Congress members, stating that these individuals were found guilty of serious human rights violations in Pakistan and should not be allowed entry into the US overseas. Pakistanis say that every character involved in oppression in Pakistan will eventually be held accountable. Coming to Punjab's farmers, their current situation, I swear, has never been worse. One major reason, among others, is that Madam Chief Minister has handed over Punjab's agriculture affairs to an MPA named Salma Bhatt, who frankly has no idea what agriculture even means. She insists she knows everything about farming, even claims she is a responsible cultivator. She once said that they can't increase wheat prices to benefit a few thousand farmers at the cost of expensive bread for urban citizens. She also claimed that farmers don't earn money only from wheat but also from selling straw, tudi. The state of the wheat crop is largely due to such advisors. And now, regarding rice, Madam Salma Bhatt is back again. She proudly admits, I don't know what the rice prices are, and then starts listing types of rice: half-cooked, quarter-cooked, single-steam, double-steam, tota. Someone please tell this poor lady that these are not varieties of rice. The actual rice types are Basmati, 86, Iri, Kernel, and so on, not what she's listing. These are states of rice, not types. So to the farmers of Punjab, I say this: wake up and don't fall asleep again. You must change your own condition, because these advisors aren't going to help you. This is all the government can offer. Now, moving on to the US presidential race, Donald Trump and his biggest supporter, Elon Musk, have officially parted ways. For days it was expected, and now it's confirmed, and not on a good note either. Their relationship has ended, and now both might run against each other in the elections, launching intense attacks and even serious allegations and threats. Elon Musk conducted a poll on X, formerly Twitter, asking the American public, is it time to form a new political party in the US? About 5 million people responded, and 81% said yes, that the US needs a new political party because people are fed up with both Republicans and Democrats. This shows that even a popular leader like Trump, who just won an election days ago, can face public disillusionment very quickly. So if 80 to 85% of people in a country support a leader, there must be something in that leader, some quality that resonates with the public. That's why they try to imprison him, chain him, silence him, yet the people keep supporting him. Just like people in the US now want a third party, but here in Pakistan they still don't. That itself says something. If Elon Musk actually forms a third party, it could create huge challenges for Trump and the Republicans in the upcoming US midterm elections. If Trump fails to secure a majority in Congress, it would be a massive blow. That wraps up our translation of Junaid Saleem's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.